As here is our latest starter. This is Ellie Fredericks with the Britannia's Mail, owned by Lucinda Fredericks. Produced by Lucinda. Ellie's had the ride for a little while though. Taken Ellie up the grades. Went to their first intermediate last year, came 5th. Were top 15 at their first 3-star at Kiso as well. And the stallion, 13 years of age now, but Ellie a super jockey. Clayton, and currently based out in the United States. There's a really, really successful team of horses out there, and I know Ellie's been out, and he's always put to good use riding when she does. And Lucinda, of course, 5-star winner. And 5-star winning mare, Headley Britannia, the dam of Britannia's Mail. So exciting to see these horses coming up through the grades, and they just have that extra little bit of something special about them. We saw it with Gemma Tassel's Chilly Knight, who won the 5-star at Bicton last week as a super jump clear. That gave her some feeling at the Barrington Sport Horses Leap. Ellie Fredericks goes on to the dual even load water.
I think this rail just helps them set up a little bit for the brush. It comes quite quickly on a right-handed curve. That rail, the limb rail, sets up the striding between the rail to the brush, and well through all elements there for Ellie Fredericks, Britannia's Mail. Ellie had a great round. Bellsay International in the Junior 2-star. They came 3rd in that section. Showed a great round across the country in that day. Well now clear over the President's chair. Ellie now going well as they pop over the big rails into, that's the blade style. Ellie just glances back as it just rattles it with their hind leg, well clear through the trees now to the Ascot Racecourse Trakehner. And again a big jump for Britannia's Mail. They have a little bit of a good galloping stretch before they come to the 10th. They come up the hill, then swing left-handed. A longer loop to what it was in the 2-star earlier this morning. Sets up for the... Actually being pulled up at the Woodman's function. The jump there with the red flag, and
that looks because I think Josh Levitt has had a fall by the looks of it from Athlete a little bit further on. Just seeing on one of our other screens, Craig, that Josh, having parted company, is up on his feet. So that means that while the fence is repaired, Ellie is held out on course. Now, I don't know how long that hold on course will be. Josh, as I say, up on his feet, and hopefully none the worse for wear after that tumble. But we'll give you any update on that. Now, Ellie just keeping this horse moving as she is held on course. She'll be talking to the fence judges. The fence judges will let her know how long they've got likely to be before they are restarted out on course. Athlete up on his feet as well to the side.
Oh, you did do that, dog.
The fence. So at the moment the course is still blocked, but we will give you an update on how long we expect that hold to be. Ellie Fredericks held out at one of those stopping fences up at fence 10.
it looks like the hard-working fence repair team got the fence back up together and got the new MIM clips back on the fence. So hopefully we shouldn't be too much longer before we get Ellie back underway.
Yeah, and Josh just being walked to the side of the track now, so he'll be checked out in the best possible hands here. And I'm sure we'll see him out on course again
not Ellie.
at some point very soon. But Ellie Fredericks and Britannia's Mail, it's always a difficult situation to be in when you're held on course, because you don't want your horse to switch off. And I think Ellie's just a little bit mindful of that here, because she wants Britannia's Mail to keep moving. She will be given plenty of notice by the fence judge as to where her timing marker is, and can go basically as far down the track as she so wishes before she is restarted. She's on a competitive starting score. She was in 5th coming forward to the cross country, and she wasn't hanging around. It's a tricky one with you, Klopp, because one, it's all about whether you've managed to stop it when you see yourself being flagged down. We saw Bobby Upton in here on Friday, and she said, you know, she sometimes totally forgets to stop it and then has to add a minute and stop it a little bit later. But then you're starting to do mental maths and it gets a bit more complicated. But she was definitely motoring, and it's interesting because this 3-star, the first few combinations we've had home, haven't been that close to the optimum time. So a fast round would certainly prove very valuable in that top 10.
Yeah, you're right. Ellie was travelling at a great speed across the country. And just going back to the stopping of your watch, Cosco, I think as riders you forget to do that because you're actually concentrating on the course and the fence head. And, you know, you see the jump judges jump out with the red flag, and the last thing on your mind is, actually, I need to stop my clock. You've got to think, where am I pulling the horse up? What's going to happen? How long are we going to be held for? But then all of a sudden, once you've come back to your trot or your walk, then you think, oh, God, we haven't done anything with the clock. Then, as you say, Nicole, you start trying to do the maths in your head, and it actually all goes out the window.
And just interestingly there, you can see the fence judge just offering Ellie a drink of water, well within their rights to do that. So essentially, when you're held out on course, you are out of the competition. So you could actually get off, you can talk to those around you, anything like that is absolutely fine. And good thinking from the fence judges there, offering her a drink, and they'll keep her fully informed of how long that hold is likely to be. Not sure how long it will take us to be restarted, but it will be a few moments until we do so. And if you are just joining us here at Cornbury, then a very, very warm welcome to you. And that actually looks like Ellie just chatting with the fence judge, and she looks to be trotting away from the fence there. So possibly being given the instruction that she can start to warm back up again. And she can go, as I say, as far back down the track as she likes to pass back by that timing marker at full competition speed. So it looks like Ellie Fredericks and Britannia's Mail will be back underway in just a couple of moments' time. A frustrating hold on course for her. Sometimes it can work in a horse's favour. You know, they get a chance to refill their lungs and they can get back up and running again very quickly. It is one of the nicer fences to have been held at. One of those proposed stopping fences picked out by the control team pre-competition as being the slightly more straightforward obstacles. And you can see Ellie just taking her time here. She's doing absolutely the right thing because it doesn't have to be away by a certain point. She can turn a couple of circles and they won't take the time until she comes back past her timing marker. And you can see she's very quickly got back up to full competition speed. A really, really mature piece of riding from her during that hold on course. So she comes back now to the woodsman's table at 10 and gets a great shot there. So she can now open up on that accelerator as she heads on up the hill for the huntsman's combination.
Yeah, it is a difficult one. When you're held on course, you're not actually sure how long the hold's going to be until you speak to the fence judges. They will keep you well informed, but sometimes it could be 5, 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and Nicole says, get off your horse if you need to.
It's interesting, that's never really the first idea. Ellie just watched her through this combination. She just plays it safe a little bit through that. I actually wonder if she hadn't been held on course, we might have seen her ride a little bit more forward, but she wasn't taking any chances. Britannia's Mail really nicely done through there. It's interesting, Craig, more often than not, holds on course at sort of 5-10 minutes, and you could stay on board, moving, you're very quickly on your way again. Occasionally, it is a much longer hold, in which case you are well within your rights to get off. You can actually, in theory, untack your horse if you're really going to be held out on course for a long time. We've seen in certain situations whereby you are held for a long time, the ground jury or the technical advisor and the British Benching Steward, if it was a national level competition, can give permission. That was the fence at which Josh Levitt fell from that resulted in the hold on course, but they can give permission for a combination to actually jump another obstacle as part of their warm-up. That is always something that permission has to be given for, but they are quite understanding if it's been a long hold on course. And Ellie, really good riding through all elements of the water there. Britannia's Mail having a super spin cross country.
Yeah, great bits of riding for Ellie Fredericks through the water complex with Britannia's Mail. Going back to the holding procedure, if you have been held for such a long time, you're right, the ground jury, the technical delegate have the option of sending you well back down the track to jump a simple fence before you get back on the bit, just to get the horse's eye back in before you come back into what is called the running competition.
And it's one of those things that if you are held out on course for a long period of time, you're well within your rights to ask the fence judge if that message can go back to cross-country control for the member of the ground jury. What usually happens in international competition, and Ellie really nicely for all elements there, but in international competition, if you've got the president of the ground jury is usually situated in cross-country control, so they are still in charge of the whole competition as such. And then there's other spotters out on course at different parts of the course, one usually at the finish as well, just keeping an eye on everything and making sure everybody is happy. So you can always get in contact with them via the fence judge if you're held. It tends to be, you've got to have been held for a good period of time. 5 minutes, they're not going to say you can go and have a pop over whatever fence you like. That has to be a permission given. As here is Ellie through that last combination, and really easily done through there. And interestingly, that final element, there was a C element there that was actually taken out of the course in the 3-star on Friday. So Ellie just running to the right-hand side of it as she comes to the last and absolutely flies. Be interesting to see her time. She was held for 5 minutes and 11 seconds out on time, out on course. I think she should be pretty damn close to that 6 minute and 11 second optimum time. And actually, it looks like she has come in 10 seconds inside. So